Palantir, louder, Palantir. Now, those of you who survived that intro, I'm assuming not many, know that I'm a huge bull on Palantir. I've talked about this before multiple times. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I actually tweeted saying, hey, in Palantir we trust. And of course, I still am extremely bullish on this company. But now, I'm not the only one. Cathie Wood is all in on this company. In today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly what she did. She literally took all the chips off the table and basically, Palantir, please. And I think she made the right decision. Again, we're going to talk about all that in a second. But first of all, cue the intro. My name is Tom Nash, and I quit my corporate job as a senior financial analyst to break down companies for you. But there's one thing you need to know about me: I don't take bullshit from anybody. A few days ago, you probably saw Cathie Wood on Benzinga. If you didn't, shame on you. I actually was the opening act of that clip. I was on half an hour before her on Benzinga Live, and of course, I stayed to watch her interview. In fact, I actually made the video reacting to what she said. In that specific segment, Jason Raznick, with an A, from Benzinga, actually asked her a very important question. Hey, Cathie, so what are you going to do in case of a major dip?
In a sell-off, any sell-off, we will concentrate towards our highest conviction names. So what we will do in an extended correction is we will concentrate the portfolio once again to the top 30, 35 stocks, because those are the ones in which we have the highest conviction. And it has been that conviction has been growing over time.
And as you just heard from Cathie herself, not paraphrasing anything, she basically said, hey, we're going to consolidate to this stock we believe in the most. Essentially, whatever Cathie does in the past 2 weeks basically gives you a tell which are the stocks she believes in the most. And Palantir is definitely one of them. I've already spoke about this before, but since my last video from February 18th, which you should have watched, she actually went even more all in. So first of all, let me roll you this clip from February 18th. If you take a look at February 16th, which was 2 days ago during the massive dip, she purchased 1.5 million shares and she brought Palantir to 0.5% of this ARKW fund. Now, 0.5% sounds low, but let me just show you how massive this fund is. This is the fund. So they got Tesla in there, they got Netflix, PayPal, Twitter, Zillow, Twilio, Facebook. I mean, 0.5% of this fund is massive. And if you take a look at number 32, you'll see a familiar name, Palantir Technologies, right here. And here we have 4 million shares. So as you saw in the clip I just showed you, Cathie literally had no Palantir shares in October. She bought 20,000 and she went all the way up to almost 5 million shares on February 16th. Now, 2 days later, I made my video reacting to it, explaining it. However, literally the day of the video, without me knowing it, Cathie decided to go really all in on Palantir, and here's what she did. Let me show you. Now, this is ARKK. This is not ARKW. This is the innovation fund. Look at what she did on February 18th, right here. February 18th, what she does, she buys 5.27 million shares. Then, a week later, another 2.5 million shares. Then, a week later, another 2 million shares. All the way up to 9 million shares and change. Let me just pull it up on the screen right now. Let's search for Palantir and you'll see it in a second. Here we go. Palantir right here. 9.7 million shares of Palantir. Over 1.1% of the fund is now Palantir. May I remind you that 10% of this fund is Tesla. So 1% Palantir means she hugely believes in this company. This is massive. So since my last video on February 18th, when I told you, hey guys, I think Cathie likes this stock, she actually went on in on her main fund and bought almost 10 million shares of Palantir through this massive dip, meaning that's one of her core convictions. She believes in this, and I believe she'll keep buying as long as the dip continues because it only makes sense. And I mean, think about the business model and the concept here. Of course she loves the stock. How could you not? Think about it this way. It's a company that's just starting to roll out its commercial sector, the Foundry. They have Gotham. It's a different business. Foundry is just starting to roll out. Peter Thiel actually told you he's going to do it. He wrote a book basically a couple of years ago saying, hey, I'm going to make a company, a monopoly in a non-existent business, which I'll develop. This is literally what Palantir is. Think about it. What is the total addressable market of Palantir? Is this some sort of a question that we can answer? No, because what they're doing essentially is predicting the future for better decision making. It's not like there's a lot of competitors there doing what they're doing. They're literally the main or the only player in a brand new industry. This is literally like we're talking about Tesla here. It's as interesting. Of course, different companies, different paths, but I'm saying that's why she loves this company so much. The company grew by 50% of revenue year over year, literally as it's just starting to roll out. It's just embryonic at this point. Look at the numbers. The company was actually profitable this year. Profitable. And yes, I said they were profitable, even though the financials say they lost money. Well, the only reason they have a financial loss is because they decided to invest in their most important asset, their employees. Which kind of company does that? They took $1.2 billion and gave it away as stock-based compensations to their employees. It's massive. I can't think of a company that is 17 years old that is still giving out options and stock-based compensation to its employees. That's usually stuff you see in startups, not in companies that has been around for 2 decades. This is massive. Without this stock-based compensation, the company is profitable for the first time in history. It's moving on up, like the Jeffersons. Moving on up.
We're moving on up.
I completely agree with Cathie here. They're industry agnostic. You can literally use them either in the grocery store, in the taxi, or in the mining company, or in a hospital, or pretty much anywhere. They can go in any industry and make you better. Who will not pay money for this? When you can actually improve the bottom line for any company by improving their processes, their decision making with proven stuff that have been cultivating for 2 decades using budgets from the defense ministry. I mean, this is massive. Palantir would have never been able to develop this level of sophistication of a product without government money. They needed to lose money for 2 decades using military and defense budgets to build incredible stuff that cannot be replicated. Now, they're basically rolling it over the past 2 decades of knowledge, IP, and know-how into the commercial sector without any competitors. It is a no-brainer for me and for Cathie, and that is why I think it has at least a $40 target. In my opinion, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet with an opinion, which might be inaccurate, might be wrong, might be the ramblings of a madman. You have to do your own research, your own due diligence, allegedly, blah, blah, mother effing blah. As always, a huge shout out to our patrons, to our channel members, to fellow Palantirians. Shout out below if you are. Let me know in the comment section. We'll see you guys in the next video.